the synchronicity is like inescapable. Apparently, people are feeling compelled to start channels like mine or to make videos about what they're calling an ascension, which they claim we're in the middle of right now. And supposedly it's something that the entire world will be able to witness when it happens. Now, I've never been one to buy into that kind of stuff. It feels like a snake oil salesman kind of a thing, but I can't ignore the fact that I actually did feel this calling as well, without being prompted by any kind of awareness of this even existing. So, I don't know. In addition to that, I started seeing images just randomly over the past couple of days of eyes, like not just eyes, but eyes emerging from everything and everywhere, like a psychedelic trip or something, like those kind of images. Come here. And anyway, yeah, so I started noticing this repetition of eyes coming out in pictures that I was seeing, and something in the back of my head kind of told me that I should, remember eyes, that eyes are important. Like I literally told myself, I might have even said it out loud, like eyes. But yeah, like something just told me to remember that. So so yeah, while watching these videos yesterday on the event, I heard someone say that this is such a huge event that beings from other planets and dimensions will be watching with countless eyes from everywhere. Something to that extent, like there will be eyes everywhere in everything, like on different dimensions. And so, yeah, that really stuck out as something significant. I mean, this all kind of sounds like a sci-fi story to me. I mean, maybe a really good spiritually exciting sci-fi story, in my opinion, anyway. So, I don't know. Could could there actually be something to this? I mean, I personally was just hoping to make a conscious contribution to connected consciousness by bringing like-minded people in to share their experiences and maybe learn how to translate messages of the universe properly, and you know to make themselves happier and live more fulfilled lives, connected, feel more connected with the world. Maybe make set people on a more virtuous, a more virtuous path. But as it turns out, my intentions were kind of similar to others within this event community. And some of these people claim that it's the rapture. Others say it's a solar flare. Um, let's see. Some people say that the poles are getting ready to shift. They're about ready to make that flip. Um, and then there's like other people who think maybe there's something happening on an interdimensional or a quantum level. So, I mean, as you can see, the list goes on and on. It can, and it does. And uh, but whatever is happening, it has as many interpretations as there are people experiencing them, I think. Point is that there might actually be something going on. So another strange thing about this event thing is that there are a lot of people saying that there are physical symptoms for people experiencing the change. And I mean, I've honestly been a little worried for a couple weeks, I guess. I've been extremely sleepy starting in the middle of the day, and it just lasts all day. I do go to bed relatively early, and I wake up relatively early. But I also developed a little rash, not like a itchy, scratchy, gross rash, but like some spots on my hands, wrists, and my feet and ankles like a week ago. Now they're going away now. I just don't know what caused it. And then, of course, I've been feeling like those little panic attacks or petite malls or whatever they are. I've been feeling them a little bit more frequently with more intensity since they started. This is the most intense was Thursday, when I felt like I could see things sliding away constantly. So, yeah. So it was, in addition to that, I think, I should probably mention that like 3 years ago when I had that strange dream, I had told my friend that I felt like I was going through some kind of a physical change, and it wasn't like an I'm getting older kind of a feeling. It felt more like I was mutating or going through a metamorphosis into something good, like an upgrade, I guess. And strangely enough, this is what many people are claiming within this event community is happening to people they call light workers. According to them, these people are getting a DNA upgrade. Now, whatever that means, I don't know. I can only speculate, and my own speculations are a little too crazy for me to speculate, so to speculate on. So anyway, I'm just like, I honestly can't believe I'm even repeating this stuff here, but I know that it was meant to be said. I know that this video is supposed to be here. My last video was not meant to exist. That's why it doesn't. That's why it couldn't. I couldn't make it. But if you're watching this, it means that the universe wanted me to post it, unlike the other one. So as I promised in the last episode, here's an experience I had around 3 years ago. And it's having to do with the using the interconnected collective consciousness of the universe to arrive at an answer to a question in a seemingly unrelated way, a totally different path. So anyway, I had been, at the time I'd been learning about the Ark of the Covenant, which is what I actually said backwards in the last video I had to delete. I said the Covenant of the Ark, blah. Anyway, I had been learning about the Ark of the Covenant and how it was present when the walls of Jericho were supposedly crumbled by the sound of 7 trumpets. Now, I don't know if I'm even getting that right, but that's just how it was interpreted to me, the whole story of the walls of Jericho. But I ended up developing a theory that there was some sort of a mechanism inside of the Ark, which possibly produced radiation, but the winged figures on top I imagined were some sort of a spark gap, and the device or mechanism inside somehow involved something that could amplify waveforms. Sorry, I've got cat hair all over my face. I was in the middle of developing that idea, trying to figure out what kind of component I could use, when I saw this video on crop circles. Totally unrelated, I know. And so I see this video on crop circles and how they've progressively become more and more intricate. And I immediately recognized some of the earlier ones as resembling atoms. And something told me just to look this up, to look for a book or something that was recording the progress of these in photographs. And I remember I found something. I don't know where I found it, but I remember looking at each of these individual crop circles, analyzing them, and they did, at least in my mind, match up to actual atoms. Like I found one that was the first one, I believe it was hydrogen, and then oxygen. There were a couple of other ones, and then finally I discovered one that I had to look up, and it was I didn't know what it was at the time, but it turned out to be a rare earth magnet called neodymium. And when I read about it, I realized that this could possibly be that missing component in the Ark device that I'd been pondering on earlier. So, and that's because it's actually used in speakers and microphones to help amplify the sound wave. So it's kind of like, I don't know, people out there would tell me that, like, that people already know, that everybody already knows that, but I didn't. I had to figure that out on my own. And I think that allowing myself to experience that is what gave me this eureka moment in my head. I believe that this experience of eureka, actually changes your brain, changes pathways and stuff in your mind, more so than somebody who is just told this. Like, I saw things in my mind's eye that I'm sure I would not have seen or that would not have happened if I'd been in some kind of a classroom setting with like a teacher and 20 to 30 plus other students. So I had such a positive experience with this that I wanted to try and recreate it, but on a greater scale and with more people. And that's sort of why this whole event thing is freaking me out a bit, because according to some of these people, my goal of experiencing and understanding the universe and collective consciousness seems to be what the event is all about. So anyway, I'd like to know in a logical and reasonable way what's going on with all of this. Is this some sort of a mass schizophrenic, manic type of hallucination thing that I just happen to stumble upon? A bunch of other mental people with the same delusions as me? I mean, I certainly hope not. I mean, I honestly feel more like I'm learning how to observe the universe more deeply. You know, like it feels more like I'm just observing things. And I mean, the timing and synchronicities are all occurring like outside of my physical body. They're catalyzed by events that I have no control over, but I can only observe them. Like I notice patterns and repetitions, coincidences, synchronicities, stuff like that, but it's not, at the same time, it's not like I have a wall in my home covered in push pins and red yarn. You know, I just use these events in my life as indicators to determine if I'm on the right path. I mean, that was what this channel was meant to be, for me at least. I mean, it could be a million different things to a million different people. That's great. But for me, this is a tool for reaching out to the universe to possibly communicate, or at the very least, to listen to and comprehend the universe, or whatever is out there. Anyway, if you found this video interesting and would like to learn more about the event, all you have to do is keyword the event on YouTube. Even if you were to filter it out to just this month, I think you might actually be surprised when you realize the number of people experiencing this. The comments are worth reading too, as many, many people are experiencing this and have never posted a video. In addition, if you've experienced any synchronicities or other phenomena, especially if it involves anything you've seen within this channel, then please leave a comment below. I'm in the process of trying to document these things, to track any progressions. I have no idea how long this experiment will last, so I think that I'll probably refer to this as the Synchronicity Project from here on out. So thanks again for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you're feeling generous, and until next time, I will most likely be off having another synchronistic experience.